All right then, so here we are. Beer time on a Monday, the 1st in June, of course. And remember, don't ever touch alcohol if you're playing any of these games for real money. It's just not worth it. Celebrate after you've beaten the crap out of the dealer. Go and have a nice beer or two or three or four or whatever. But booze and betting make very bad bedmates. So don't. That's my recommendation. Anyway, last time out, we did well. We had a crappy second shoe. This was a rollover. Second shoe was bollocks, and so then we gagged. We got up and goed, and that took us into better territory. And when you do that, you don't know for sure that it's going to be better. The most important thing is, that maybe you're escaping a trend that's about to get worse if you don't leave. This one here, for instance, I left at 25,000 to go over to blackjack. I would have won the next four bets, which is what I can see. I'll show you what you can see with the gizmos that this platform gives you, and it's frustrating because I ran away here, and right after that, bang, 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 you know, and then it would have been fine. But what you always have to be concerned with is your state of mind, the way you feel. If you feel threatened, if you feel uncomfortable, for any reason at all, get up and go. Don't bend over. Don't take the shaft. And if there's somebody moved onto the table and they fart or they got bad breath or nasty habits, keep knocking their beer over or something like that, just get up and go. It really won't hurt you, honestly. Well, it might hurt you just briefly, but usually it's a piece of cake. And there's so many demos out on this channel now that you should be able to see that it's not a big worry. Anyway, play baccarat. Move this ear out the way. Start a new shoe. Did I remember? Ooh, ah, ooh. I did. All right. Plus one. Plus another one. Double for the tie. We do that up to 100. And now plus max. And we're going to double that. That's the new thing that I'm doing now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have, we didn't get a plus max win. So this is a new thing I'm doing, and so far it's working very well. Okay. So now that's 3, 7, 8, 4. So now it's 4, 5. Next bet is 4, 5. Oh dear. 9, 10. There it is. All sorted. Double for the loss. Repeat. Minimum. Double for the loss. Repeat. Minimum. Win it, then minute. A 1, 2. Bugger. Double bugger. 3, 4. I'd rather have a result any time than a tie, because I would never bet on a tie. If they paid close to the decent odds, if they paid, say, 10 to 1 instead of, because the odds should be about 11 to 1. That would be fair. That would be still give the house a slight advantage, because ties run out at about 10 to 1, whatever. But they don't, so it doesn't matter. I did get excited once I saw that the pepper mill in Reno had ties at what looked like 9 to 1, and then you look at it a little more closely, it says 9, 4, 1. which is the same as 821, so it doesn't actually mean a bloody thing. I think that's a bit sneaky myself. I like the pep mill though. I spent a lot of time there. A lot of time. And I'm sure it's bigger and fancier and swishier and all that stuff now than it was all those years ago. That's a repeat. Minimum. Plus one. That's another one. And another one. 1, 2. Goody, goody. But I don't get how anybody can watch these demos and then sort of say, well, that strategy just doesn't work. I mean, it's amazing to me. But people are weird. 1, 2. Minimum. Oh, double for the tie. No, that's not a repeat because we doubled. Back to the min. Double for the loss. Repeat. 51. Repeat. It really did repeat, didn't it? Ooh, we're streaking ahead now. Look at this. 26 to 16. I don't know what's going on with this platform right now. It's just going bonkers. Okay, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just, at the lower end, when you're not putting out huge amounts of money, that's a very good time to help goose the final turnaround profit. Because, a criticism that you will hear often of these ignorant bastards, well, I think they actually know what they're saying. They're paid to tell fibs, basically. When they talk about the martingale, they say, yeah, you risk all that money and you just win 1 unit. Well, yeah, that's true to an extent in that you just make a profit of 1 unit. But what you actually do is you win back all your prior losses plus 1 unit. And with pattern betting, it's much smarter than that. It's much more effective than that. You wouldn't be seeing, if you were martingaling, you wouldn't see a balance like this. And you'd see a much higher action number. Double for the loss. 1, 2. Back to the min. Double for the loss. 1, 2. 3, 4. Long grass. Oops, that's 3, 5 then. Okay. Sorry, trigger finger. Sometimes it gives you money and sometimes it takes it away. 51. Repeat. 1, 2. 3, 4. Damn it. There we are. Doing pretty well so far. 9 minutes. Double for the loss. 1, 2. Well, we know 34 is 7 ahead now. We were 10 ahead a minute ago. Double for the tie. Plus 1. Double for the tie. Plus max. Repeat. That we just chased because we've got 1 already. Now we're on 3, 4. Oh dear. Now we're on 7, 8. 15, 8. Oh dear. Okay, 15.8. Normally we'd be running to the bank, but what we're going to call that is we're going to call it 3-2. We'll save this shoe, obviously. 3-2 in 500s on player. Never, ever, ever, ever start a new shoe with a bet on banker. Unless you really love banker, but you have to be a bit silly to do that. I'm telling you the truth. All right, so we had a rollover there. 3-2. And now we can go to 3-4. The way that works is when you get a tie, you don't respond to it by changing the bet, increasing the bet, if the bet is more than 100, unless you can go from, like in this case, 3-2 to 3-4. So 3-2 is just a mid-recovery bet. 3-4 is a turnaround bet, right? So what we want now is a turnaround. We did not get it. There it is. Okay, so now at 3,425 in less than 12 minutes. Back to the minimum. Double for the tie. +1. 1-2. Back to the min. 51. Repeat. Back to the minimum. +1. 51. 2-3. Ugh, 5-6. Don't like this one. It's unfriendly. No, it's not. That's the beauty of 3-play. You know, you start to think that you're sinking, and then ba-boom, you get your turnaround. 24. 7-8 again. What you doing? There it is. Book it. Double for the loss. What happened? Repeat. I wasn't paying attention for a moment there. There we go. I'm looking at the last quarter of my pint of beer there and thinking, should I pause? Well, I'm going to be brave and soldier on without it. What happened? 51. That's got to be another repeat then, hasn't it? 51. 2-3. 5-6. Well, this is a bumpy one, this one, isn't it? 11-6. Go to the bank. Oh dear. 17-20. I can see us running away from this one in a sec. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Still on the bank. Minimum. +1. There's another one. 1-2. Minimum on the bank. 2-3. I don't like that. 5-7 for the commish. Goody goody. Minimum. Minimum. +1. Double for the tie. Plus max. I'll do it again. Bugger. Chase it. Chase it. All right, now we're on 3-4. It's going to be 3-5 actually. And the last on the bank if we lose. We didn't. All right, back to the men. +1. $3-5, and we're out of here if we don't get what we need. So that's 2-1 on player. 1-2. 3-4. Yippee. Minimum. 3 play will get you through. But you gotta believe, you gotta stick with it, you gotta have a lot of money behind you. 51, I think, there. Do it again. 1-2. 3-4. Minimum. What? Double for the tie. We're good. +1. It's another player-friendly one, you know. This is getting a bit embarrassing, really. Okay, so I'm not going to bother to chase anything now. We're at 17 minutes, 6,840. We've just had 2 more shoes that were actually very, very friendly. I don't hate that, but for the purposes of this project, I'm much better off if I can show you pattern betting delivering a win in spite of more losses than wins. But I have no control over these things in spite of the prats out there who say, yeah, well, he knows what's coming. He manipulates it. They never, ever offer evidence. That's what's so bloody annoying about these trolls. All right, so let's have a look at the first one. I think both of these were player friendly. 37 to 31, so +6 there. +35 to 29, so another +6 there, so +12 in this session, you know, which is near enough 10% player edge. That's insane, but it happens, you know. It does. It really does. So I will catch you when I get to the Excel update, and I hope this is useful to you. It certainly is to me. That's why I keep doing it. I'm also trying to attract as many people as I can to a strategy which is worth your time and effort, but only if you can afford to win. All right. See you in a bit. All right, so if you've been here before, you'll know that I always whinge a little bit if I'm stuck with a data set, a bunch of shoes that give me a player edge, because that's no challenge at all. I mean, any twerp can make a bit of money if he wins more bets than he loses, but the clever stuff comes when you lose more bets than you win, and you still make money. And I must say that the casinos tend to be rather, I don't know, sort of against that. I don't know why, but, you know, that's them. Bad for their business, I guess, when people win consistently. They just, they lack a sense of humor, I think, those people. They really do. What are we looking at here? Yeah, a couple of things I know I've forgotten, but I don't think they're terribly important at this stage of the game. We are looking at an 8.2% player edge. So, you know, we had 12 more wins than losses, and that can't happen often enough. I certainly don't hate it when it happens, but I would prefer it when I'm updating the log here. I would prefer it if I was showing you an illustration of how easy it is for pattern betting to win money in spite of losing more bets than it won. But never mind, can't complain. Well, yeah, I can. I complain all the time. So what do we got? Let's go to the chart. And we see over here, same old story. It just doesn't really change much, does it? Every so often we get a little bit of excitement like this, where I had to run off to blackjack because I hit a situation where my next bet would have reached the table limit at baccarat. There's no point in running away after you've hit the table limit. If you know that if you lose this one, your next one is going to have to be at or above the table limit, then that's the time to run away. And so that's what I did, and I've done it 16 times now, and all 16 times have ended up, paying off a decent amount of money. Baccarat on its own, in spite of the gags, the get up and goes, is still doing nicely at 376,000 in profit. Decent, it's a decent result, but it's made much better by the final turnarounds at blackjack. Today's front page just includes these last two shoes from today, June the 1st, 6,840's worth there, and you've seen the details. Nevada numbers, I can never resist going there just in case somebody's arrived who doesn't understand that ignorance, stupidity, drunkenness, tiredness, weakness, daftness, and so on are the friends of the house. Blackjack should be less than 1% for the house, but it's a 13% win percentage. Craps should be 1.41% for the house, and it's a 16% win percentage. Roulette should be 2.7%. That's actually not quite right, but that's single zero roulette. You don't see too much of that in Nevada, certainly. It's common all over Europe and certainly in England too. I don't think you would ever find a double zero table in England. They're just not greedy enough, The American casinos are bastards. They really are. I mean, they are so damn greedy, and their profit, their turnover is incredible. I mean, they pay their people bugger all, and fleece their customers left and right. Good old days in Vegas back in the 70s when I first started going there. God, you could get a room for $10 a night. You get a fantastic meal for maybe $3. I mean, a super buffet or steak and chips and all the trimmings and decent food. I mean, really decent food. My favorite place back in those days was actually downtown, the Golden Nugget. I think it's still there, but it's owned by somebody else. I was there. I used to go there back in the days when Steve Wynn owned it, and then poor old Wynn finally falls foul of zip problems. Terrible, but hey, I must confess I had a couple of not too dramatic run-ins with him, but I certainly met him a couple of times, and on one occasion he was less than friendly. I was reporting for a California newspaper back then. I'd stopped doing the showbiz thing and settled down in northern Nevada in Lake Tahoe area, and was working for the Reno, the main Reno paper, and Sacramento. And so I had a lot of questions to ask him. He didn't like them. So time before that, he bought me a sandwich. So I mean, what can I say? Obviously, a changeling, schizophrenic. Anyway, baccarat, 1.3% or less, showing 16% for the house or 12% of the house, depending on the layouts. So just keep that stuff in mind. It really is important. You need to know the numbers. You need to know what you're up against, and you need to know the best way to go about overcoming the fact that eventually you're going to lose more bets than you win, and therefore you must bet smart to overcome that problem. So there you have it. I'm done, I think, and I'll catch you